March of the Fire Ants, specifically the weird breakdown part towards the end after the famous There's some interesting stuff going on in that part with the way the harmonies move around between the left and right guitars. I might do a separate video on that one of these days, but for the moment, this is going to be the first in a new series that right now I'm calling What's That Bit? Because the name just makes sense to me. Sometimes you are learning a slightly obscure song and there's just some part in it that makes a little less sense than the rest. I mean, in traditional metal it's usually the solo, right? In the case of something like Mastodon, it's a strange little part like that where it's not super clear what's going on. And I have found a few, let's say, inconsistencies with how the part is played. We'll get to that later. But let's talk tuning first of all. So I'm in traditional old school Mastodon octave drop A, where you are tuned down a full step and then your sixth string is dropped down to A. So your power chord shape becomes your octave shape. So from top to bottom I am A, G, C, F, A, D. So what I've done is I've consulted a few live videos where I found some of the inconsistencies, and I've split the left and right side of the track to hear a little more clearly what's going on. And it seems to be that throughout most of this song there is just two main rhythm guitars going on. There don't seem to be layering it up too much. This part is just a right and left guitar, and there are some let's say nuances, stuff, sounds that are just created by the mixture of the way that Bill and Brent play, but just in the style they play there's just some little differences going on. We'll talk about that. Okay, the actual playing of the part. So I'll break it down bit by bit and perform the whole thing at the end. So we've come out of all that, kicking off. And there's a lot of playing with open strings going on, as you'll see. Going 3-2 on our low, in this case A string. Going 0-2. Then hitting our open B string. And again, one of the kind of nuances that I was talking about earlier is there's a little bit of these open strings just ringing out to create a kind of natural reverberation when you hear the part played. Second part. Jumped up to the 8th and 9th fret here. Then 8 and 7 on the next string. Then hitting our open high D string in this case. Okay. My favorite part of this little bit, hitting a power chord here at the 5th fret, then going 6 and 4, and hitting the open, not G, F. And the second time around, there's some signature old-fashioned weird Brent Hines kind of too high sounding pinch harmonics going on in the recording. But if I leave them out for a second, 6, 4, 6, with a bit of a bend going on. Again, not super consistent, make a little more sense with the harmonic in it. Now this next part, which confused me for a long time. On the recording, both guitars seem to be playing the same part, going 4-6, 4-6, and hitting the 4th fret up on the A string. Again, it's some messing around with harmonics. And both guys seem to hit that vibrato quite differently. I think it's Brent's side, if I can tell just from the style of playing. He's a bit more severe and a bit more quick on the vibrato. It has that kind of panicked sound. Second part of that, dropping the whole thing down 2 frets, the 2 and 4, then hitting the 2nd fret on that A string. I can never tell if it's better to talk in terms of what the tunings of the strings actually are, or whether I should just go E, A, D, G, B, E, just because that's what we're used to. Let me know in the comments, I suppose. Because calling that the A string is just kind of hurting my brain a little bit, but that's a me problem maybe. So, the whole part. So I have 2 clips pulled up here, one from 2003, another from 2011, and I just want to compare the differences between them. I consulted both of these to make sure I was playing the part right, and I just want to discuss some of the differences between how they're playing them, because if you're in a band and you've written like slightly more technical or weird parts, you know that sometimes it's hard to settle on exactly how you play them when you have options about how you could play it. You know, I'm here trying to figure out the canon version, so to speak. That's what I'm into. But I know from experience that parts I've written, I do mix them up just to kind of keep myself interested. It's a weird thing, but musicians do it all the time. This is the 2003. This is from Adriano AJ on YouTube. This is the last section, and I just want to look at how Bill is playing the part here. So keep an eye on his left hand, obviously. Keep an eye on his left hand here. Brent here looking like Jared James Nichols. That's pretty cool. You can see just in that brief bit, he is playing, or he appears to be playing the part as it is on the track. And Brent is as well, actually. 2-4-2-4, or 4-6-4-6 and 2-4-2-4. So this one is 2011. This is from Twisty the Clown. Cool name. Now here, just coming into the last time they play that last section, if you watch what Bill's doing here, he's switching up the octaves a little bit. Bill's playing the part, or sorry, Brent is playing the part as is. If you watch Bill's left hand here, he seems to be jumping up to the next string. It's a little bit choppy on the frame rate here. It looks as if he's going 6-8-4-6 on the 5th string there, and the same 4-6-2-4 dropping down to the next part. I don't hear that on the track exactly, but again, it's just one of these things. He's just changing up how he likes to play it. There's a one little touch here in the previous section where Brent is going. See there, he's doing the like octave power chord shape there for the second part. Yeah, see that? Just little touches that don't really affect how the guitar part hits your ear, but it just keeps it interesting for themselves playing it. Yeah, very relatable stuff. Alright, well, this has been March of the Fire Ants, the weird breakdown part. I hope this has been useful to you. This is a part that I was banging my head against for a long time and learning various different funny versions of it. And as usual, live footage was where I got my straightest of answers. So I hope this has been useful to you. This is the first of an ongoing series. Like I said, what's that bit? I'm probably going to call it right now. Yeah, see you for the next one. Bring out your sludge.